In this video, I'm going to show you how to self-fix a short leg at home. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe here at SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. So if you're dealing with a leg length discrepancy, especially if one side feels shorter than the other, then this is a video that you're not going to want to miss. I'm going to go over safe, effective stretches and exercises that will help target a short leg, and the great part is you can do them in the comfort of your own home. As a side note, this is not going to help correct an anatomical short leg. This is just for something where your hips, maybe your pelvis feels like it's hiked up or just unlevel. So let's get started with them and target that short leg and get it gone right now. So all of these exercises are going to help activate the muscles around the hips, around the pelvis, legs, and the low back that are commonly associated with that short leg. So give all of them a try and make sure to go with the ones that you feel help you the most. The great part is we're not going to be using any special equipment either. The first one is called a 90-90 stretch with a hip or pelvic tilt. So what I'm going to do is lay flat on my back. I'm going to go next to a wall or a door and put my legs at 90 degrees from the knee, so I should say the hip, the knees, and the ankles should be at 90 degrees. Plant your feet firmly against that door or the wall. What I'm going to do is just simply tilt my pelvis back, so I'm kind of like tucking my tailbone in, and then I'm just going to lift it up off the floor. You can kind of see how there's a nice space in between there. I try to put my weight at the heels, and from there you should already start to feel everything activate across the hips and across the pelvis. What I want to do from here is I want to hike one side up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt my right side like this up just a little bit. And when you do this, you're going to notice that one knee, in this case, whatever side you're tilting up, that side's knee is going to be slightly higher than the other. So when I'm looking at my knees right now, I can notice that right side a little bit higher up. That means that you're in a good position. When I do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to then take my left side's heel and I'm going to drive downwards into the door. So I'm not pressing forward into it, I'm kind of pressing down. And when I do this, I tend to find that wearing shoes with grip works a little bit better. And when you do this, you're going to feel the hamstring on that left side really start to fire. What I want to do from there is I want to take my right leg off and I'm just going to simply march that right leg and stabilize with the left. When you do this, you're going to feel a lot of muscles starting to fire across the back of the leg, the hamstring, into the pelvis, the glutes, the buttocks, you name it. It's a good way to help build coordination and really strengthen those muscles that are associated with that left leg. I try to do this 15 times very slowly. And then from there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to relax, take a bit of a breather, and then from there, I'm just going to repeat this 3 times on both sides. It's going to be important to do it on both sides because at that point, you're going to keep everything balanced across the lower back and hopefully bring that short leg back up into balance. So a big cause of a pelvic tilt that may result in a short leg is due to glute or buttock weakness. So what we need to do is strengthen them to level that off and correct that short leg. And we can do that with a very simple exercise called a wall push. Let's go next to a wall, and I'm going to space my body just slightly away from the wall. Let's take the arm closest to that wall, place it against it to anchor us in. So my shoulder, my elbow, my arm are firmly against that wall. What I'm going to do is whatever hip is closest to the wall, let's lift that leg up till it is nice and parallel with the floor. So the top of the leg should be parallel with the floor. What I'm going to do from there is take that knee and drive it into the wall. When you do this, try to press into it with your knee, and you're going to feel a very good, pretty much contraction into the left side's glute. So my right knee is pressing in, you're going to feel it on the left side. The more that you press into it, the more it's going to activate that glute muscle. Only go to your comfort level. Try to hold this for about 15 seconds. You're just going to relax, and then you're going to repeat this up to 5 times. From there, what I want to do is then raise the knee up even further so my knee is above my hip. And then I'm going to repeat this process. This is going to activate that glute even more. What you want to do, 15-second holds to your comfort level, relax, and then repeat up to 5 times. Again, it's important to then switch to the opposite side to keep everything in balance. So this next one is a great isometric exercise that is going to help more or less reset the pelvis, including the sacroiliac or SI joints. I'm going to be using my sturdy beat up broomstick right here. If you don't have a broomstick, grab a stick off a toilet plunger. If you don't have that, go out in the yard and grab a stick. It just needs to be long and sturdy. We're going to start off on a flat surface. You could do this in bed or on the floor. What I want to do is take our stick and I'm going to place it in between my legs like this. So one side of the stick is going to be above the knee while the other side is going to be behind the knee. In this case, it's behind my right knee, above my left. Let's lift the legs up like this. And what I'm going to do is whatever knee is away from you, or I should say behind the stick, we're going to drive that forward towards us while the knee that is closest to you or above the stick is going to drive away, so almost like a scissored stance. When you do this, you're going to feel a very good stretch into the lower back, the pelvis, the glutes, the buttock. Only go to your comfort level. You want to hold this to a comfortable point. If it does feel like it's causing discomfort, please discontinue. But do this for 15 seconds. You're just going to relax, and then you're going to repeat this up to 5 times. And then from there, you're just going to simply switch and do that on both sides to keep everything in balance. So the second part of this, and this is the part that everybody likes because it usually results in a pop into the SI joints, is to take your hands, put them together like this into a fist, lift your legs up like this, put them in between the knees, and then drive your knees into, actually I don't know if you heard that on the microphone, it popped really well, into your hands. That generally will get those SI joints to pop, crack, or self-release. Afterwards, just check everything, especially those short legs or the pelvic tilt, and see if it has improved it. So this is one of my personal favorite ways to correct pelvic tilt that might be causing a short leg. What I'm going to be doing is using a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use a stack of books. You can also just roll up a large bath towel. I'm also going to be using my broomstick for stabilization, but if you don't have one, you can go right next to a wall instead. And you can also do this on a staircase if you find a spot that this will accommodate you. So I'm just going to put one leg up on, or I should say one foot up on the yoga block like this while the other one just goes off. Let's straighten both legs as much as possible. And what I'm going to do from there is whatever side that is not on that yoga block, let's just slowly start to lower it down towards the floor just like this. When you do this, you're going to feel a lot of muscles starting to be engaged in the lower back, across the hips, the pelvis, into the legs. Only go to your comfort level, but just keep going down as far as you feel comfortable going. When you get to a point where it's a very deep stretch, hold this for about 5 seconds. And then what you're going to do is slowly start to then come back up and do the opposite. Let's hike this hip up as much as we can. It's going to fire those muscles just a little bit differently. Keep going up until you feel those muscles really fire. Hold this for 5 seconds, and then you're just going to simply relax for a second and then repeat this up to 5 times. How we can engage the muscles in a 360-degree fashion is, let's do this. Let's take the leg and straighten it, the one that's off that yoga block. Toes are going to be pointed up towards the ceiling. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, again, slowly start to lower that side down as much as we feel comfortable. And then from there, once we feel a very good stretch, hold this one for about 5 seconds. You're just going to relax, and then you're just going to, again, hike that hip up as much as you can. 5-second holds, relax, do it 5 times. You can also just switch this broomstick to the opposite side and then do a side pose also. And this one can be very, very tricky, so go very comfortable. I should say, only go to your comfort level. What I'm doing is I'm just lowering that down as much as I can, and then from there I'm going to hike that hip up as much as I can, holding for 5 seconds, and then doing 5 complete repetitions. And the last one you can do is straighten the leg right here, put the toes down towards the floor, and this one you're probably going to end up touching the floor. That's fine, but just lower the toes down towards the floor and do a light tap, and then from there just hike that hip up on the side, holding for about 5 seconds, relaxing, and then doing 5 complete repetitions. When you do this, always make sure to switch over to the opposite side to make sure all of the muscles are kept in balance. That will ensure that we're trying to level it off the best that we can. So if you liked the video and got a lot of relief, please show us your support by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing to our channel too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.